Hormuz closed, you better stock up. And I mean it, especially if it's closed for any long length of time.
How much food have you got stocked up? How many months?
Back in Texas, years. And here, I'm not going to talk about it, but I've stocked up for years because I could see it coming, right? I think everybody needs to be prepared for a multi-year total reduction of food. Actually, it's never going to go back the way it was. But what you're going to see, I think, will be a reduction of population and a lot of war. And if you survive through that, and wars are unpredictable, no telling which way it'll go. If somebody's going to lob nukes or whatever, which is a pretty significant possibility, and we don't know how it's going to go. But I would suggest, people that are stocking up for 2 or 3 months of food and think that's enough, you're not even in the ballpark, right? And now's the time to do it while the getting is good, right? And I would say you better be thinking in terms of years or preparing or growing your own food. Now, but keep in mind in time, or somehow making your own food. But keep in mind, in times of famine, people are going to find that food. They come out and actually governments in my studies on famine, the governments always are one of the primary bad guys. They come door to door. They bust down walls, see where you got the food hidden. They're checking, see where you got it buried in the yard. And that's why you'll have people, hiding it in gardens, fake gardens, so that it covers up the digging and that sort of thing. These are old techniques that have been used in famines. But the governments, they come door to door, police and army and that sort of thing, and gangsters, of course. So, that's one of the things that causes famines to get worse. In the first season, well, there's different types of famines. There's some that are really quick. They kind of come and go, right? They can snap on and kind of snap off, or snap on but there's others that slowly come in. Those are the worst. The slow famines, and that's what we're going into now, is a slow famine. And those often, like in the second and third season, they're a lot worse than in the first season. Because in the first season, there's still a lot of food out there, but people start stealing from the warehouses and the ships and the trains and in the stores and the farms. And then in the second season, the farmers are not even growing. And so now keep in mind, we have a global intentional famine underway, right? That's crystal clear. It's global and it's intentional. And therefore, there's not going to be anybody coming to the rescue. And so, you got to think in terms of long term, think in terms of very long term.
Shalom. Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Makakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutation to all the brothers and the few sisters out there, onto like foreigners, and the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Shalom in the Hebrew, which means peace. I didn't even know the brother was going to say anything to it, but this is, I believe I made mention of this in the previous show. And because the main guy that's speaking, as he's speaking, and his solution is everybody else's, is the same thing everybody else would say, but he was so confident in saying, oh, at this location, I'm stocked out for years. Well, and over here, I can't say nothing. Just a typical American braggadocious, unnecessary braggadocious, he's confident of what he has. And he's at the same time, with the same breath, that's the ironic part of it. At the same time, in the same breath, he's telling you, oh, it doesn't matter if you have X amount of months. These are scenarios that can happen. So what would change because of you? Like, why would you, what would make you so different from everybody else? The same rules apply to you. All right. This exact same rules would apply to you and your stuff, because your stuff, you can't be touched. You're just a man. But that's the pride of this world. Okay? That's pride that he's oozing out of him. All right? Because he's been taught about the gun, and he's been taught by someone to believe in his so-called confidence, but he fails to understand that it doesn't matter what you do or how you do it is all in the hands of the Lord. All right. And the theme of lately, I mean, I I'm watching things, I'm not watching things, but I'm seeing a pattern, and the pattern is the upcoming famine that's soon to come. Like we finally coming to the point where all that nonsense that was going on in the Middle East, especially the Straits of Hormuz, is finally going to trickle over here in the first world country. All right, which is famine. All right, if anything that's going to make people lose it is the fact that they're going to lose it because they're going to lack of food. Everything he says, which we all agree. All right, it doesn't matter what you have, where you have it stored up. The government is going to get you. The bad guy is going to get you. Everybody, if you're not protected by Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. A man's strength can't get him nowhere. Men can't do nothing, especially in a time like this. When Joseph had the dream of 70 years of plenty and 70 years of famine. No, sorry, it wasn't Joseph, Salakia. Joseph interpreted the dream. It was the Pharaoh. And Joseph interpreted the dream and he got the command to store, right? He was being prepared. Well, here in America, we live in a gluttonous society. So you go to the store, you see the shelves stacked up, you think nothing of it. You don't think that your reserves is being eaten. You don't think that where the food comes from, which a lot of food comes from overseas as well, and the goods that you have ain't coming no more. You fail to understand that a lot of people getting laid off right and left. A lot of storages, and you also fail to realize. And I'm just saying that because I gotta be real with myself too. Every purchase that you do have, they monitor. They know what you got. It's a record. So we are heading into some difficult, beautiful times because in this time, the Lord is going to show out to who He's dealing with. All right. But I mentioned of this video because I seen it on Instagram, and I was like, huh, look at that, because he was so arrogant. Like this man, Luke 12, I believe it's 22 or 21, where it starts. It says, matter of fact, I started 22. Actually, I should go up. I'll go up. It says, oh wow. Luke 12 and 16. And he spake a parable unto them, saying, the ground of a certain rich man brought forth plentiful. And he thought within himself, saying, what shall I do, because I have no room where to bestow my fruits? And he said, this will I do. I will pull down my barns and build a greater and built greater, and there will I bestow all my fruits and my goods. Because he had what? Plentiful, right? And I will say to my soul that has much goods laid up for many years, take take thine ease, eat, drink, and be merry. Now, what did he say again right here? It says, I have much goods laid up for many years. What did the guy just said? He said, Salakia, huh? This is why, let me get the scripture real quick. Scripture popped in my head. Proverbs 27:1. Boast not thyself of tomorrow, but I knowest not what a day may bring forth. So don't look at, say, tomorrow, I'm going to have all this goods. I'm going to do all this stuff because you don't know if you're going to make it. But the way this guy said it, I'm going back to it.
Right. And now's the time to do it while the getting is people that are, but I've stocked up for years because I could see it coming. Right.
I stocked up for years because I could see it coming. Hold on, but he said something else before that. I stocked up again.
Ever see Strait of Hormuz closed? You better stock up, and I mean it, especially if it's closed for any long length of time.
How much food have you got stocked up? How many months?
Hold on, and then that's another thing. This is how you know how the human mind operates. Now, for everybody that watches our shows, that's convincing their mind of this truth, you'll notice when you tell somebody that doesn't know the truth, all right, it may blur out your mouth. Like you would just randomly just say something like, and sometimes it will captivate the people. And the people will ask you, what is your solution? Now, two things. Yes, they operate in fear. Two, and the other most important one is that they're sizing it up where if it does go bad, I could go to you for assistance or I just take your shit. That's how people think. So when you see somebody just go randomly and just ask a person a question like, have you been stocking up? That's none of your business. First of all, you shouldn't even be saying nothing. All right? You shouldn't even be saying anything. We come into the path was Ezekiel the third chapter, where 3 and 25, where the Lord cleaned the mouth, the tongue of Ezekiel, meaning he was not going to tell no more the truth. He was done. So we come into the point we don't have to say nothing no more. Like if somebody, yo, remember when you said this and that? I don't know. It is what you make up some shit because they still trying to look for options. All right? That's how the human mind thinks, especially the Babylonians, the modern day Babylonians. Because they always, this fails, I'm gonna just go to the next shit. Well, we in this truth, we didn't think like that. This isn't, if it fails, I got another app. No. It was Yahweh Bashem Yahushai 1, 2, 3, 4. Everything that you could think of, A, B, C, 1, 2, 3 options was all Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So the guy in the bed who's asking the question, he's asking it to size him up. All right, but this is how a carnal man thinks. This is how carnal people think. Let it play again.
Texas, years. And here, I'm not going to talk about it, but.
And he boasts about it in Texas years. So, like I stated before, do you know you're going to be in Texas when shit hits the fan? Do you know exactly the day, the hour? Are you going to be somewhere Home Depot, far away, far from your house? And when it's for you to go to your house, the roads may be blocked off. You know, do you think like that? Do you think that it might get ransacked? All right, your little secret spots. Oh, what about your wife and children? You don't think your wife and children might sell you out? It's like actually the first movie, The Purge, was dealing with one of the top people that was working for, I forgot the damn name of The founding fathers, they call him, he was insider. And even in the time of being an insider, when he damn near tried his best to protect his family still turned on his ass. Okay? So there's different scenarios where you lose control of the outcome because tomorrow nothing's granted. This is why the Lord is like, don't trust in these things. Don't put your trust in anything because you don't know how the Lord operates. There's gonna be there's gonna be a lot of dead motherfuckers out there who had it perfectly planned out, but they're not gonna live to see it. Like they're going back to this. It says Luke 12:19. Make sure yeah, 12:19. And I will say unto my soul that has much goods laid up for many years, take thine ease. Take it easy now. Relax, retire, eat, drink, and be merry. So let's just enjoy life. I did everything. You could tell the people that accomplished much in this life, people that got to retire, they have this relaxing look in their face, like, yeah, I did it. No, you just did a certain part. You haven't done nothing. The rest comes in the kingdom. All that shit that you think you did, you didn't do nothing. All right. But the Most High said unto him, thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee. Then whose shall those things be which thou hast provided? So the Lord can take a man's soul in a heartbeat. There's a particular, it's in Psalms, actually, it's two of them. Is it Psalms 7? Hold on. Hold up. Nope, that's not it. Not it either. Maybe it's because I remember it's there it is. Psalms 39:6. Surely every man walketh in a vain show. Vain meaning nothing, pointless. All right. Like majority of people, the way they operate, the way they think, the motherfuckers worrying about fashion, worrying about arts, worrying about things that doesn't matter. That does not hold no weight to what's about to come. Surely they are disquieted in vain. What? Because they got their whole world got interrupted. Just like that man, the Lord interrupted that man's whole entire operation, his thought process. Right? He thought he was gonna have it easy. He thought he was gonna enjoy all the fruits that he ever. But the Lord's like, nope, you getting over here. He heapeth up treasures and knoweth not who shall gather them. So they heap up treasures. They don't know who they're gathering for, because they ain't gathering for themselves. They they're gathering for the elect. All right. They're gathering for the elect. It says, oh, another one. Psalms 49:17. From when he dieth, he shall carry nothing away. His glory shall not descend after him. Though while he lived, he blessed his soul. And when men praise thee, just like that guy, that's that question. It's like everybody's about to ask you the question, right? They're gonna praise you. Oh, yeah, I'm prepared. Oh, I'm good. That's the only thing you can say. I'm good. The Lord got me. And that kind of shuts everybody down. Like, yeah, the Lord got me. But what that's supposed to mean? And they or automatically they not, especially women. They once you tell a woman something like that, she had no faith. What the hell she think? Like nigga, please, I'm gonna go to the sure shot, the one that I know who has. Well, unbeknownst to them, that's a wrap for them. They done made their decision. So though it said, though while he lived, he blessed his own soul. And men praise thee when thou doest well to thyself, he shall go to the generations of his fathers, they shall never see the light. Meaning whatever he did, they will never see it. That's how things operate. That's how the Lord operates. All right. It's all about longevity. And our longevity is the relationship that we have between us and the Lord. The Lord daily proves to us that when things go awry, when we have less, when we don't have nothing, He always come through. How much more when famine takes place? Which the way they're saying it, we might be hitting it May and June, and the cycle begins. It says Proverbs 19, 11 and 4. It says, "Riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivereth from death." So always a man's deeds in a time of judgment is a weight. Is a weight. You did the right things prior to the set bad things that's about to take place. The Lord is gonna balance you out. He's gonna take care of you. But if you always been evil, always been doing foul things towards others, you have no you have no hope. All right. Back in Luke 12 and 9, it says, "So is he that layeth up treasures for himself and is not rich towards the Most High." So it's all about the riches that you have between you and the Heavenly Father, that relationship, because that's where it's going to boil down to. On Job 5, backing up, 5 and 19. He said, he shall deliver thee. Slakia, technical difficulties. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles. Yeah, in 7, there shall no evil touch thee. And this 6 troubles, then we fall, we rise back up, we get in situations, but we always being delivered from is what? To have in our minds that the Lord is always going to be there. And if you're of the elect in a time of desperation, starvation, pestilence, all right, civil war, when you're weak at your weakest point, the Lord's going to be there. It says, "In famine, He shall redeem thee." And we know what redeem means. It means to buy back. All right. Matter of fact, let me make sure. The Hebrew word is pada, to ransom, redeem, rescue, deliver. To ransom, to be ransomed, to allow one to be ransomed. So we being ransomed, and ransom means to be bought back. So we ultimately, the Lord Yahweh Shai put His blood on the line for the elect. All right, we owe, all of us owe Yahweh Shai the greatest gratitude, and that's why we put our bodies that live in sacrifice. All that is what? That wasn't for nothing. That was our payment. That was us building up our spiritual piggy bank. Okay? So it says, "In famine he shall redeem thee from death." So while everybody else is starving to death, we will eat. It says in war and from power of the sword. So that's heavy. That's heavy. That's a heavy thing right there. Because basically saying when I'm in danger, you got me, right? This is better than the mob, right? This is better than any organization that's out there because they always want usury and they never come through when ultimately. All right, they always come up with a hiccup. They're never true to their word. But Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, he's true to his word. Isaiah 65 and 13. We also says the point. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall hunger. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. And the key word is what? Servants should be ibad. Ibad. So placating, being a servant of the Lord, there's rewards behind that. And we have plenty of examples in the scriptures of great men that was at down and out, and the Lord came through. All right. The first person I'm thinking about is Elijah. Elijah had a long journey. He was being fed by ravens, and ravens are known for stealing food. All right, they brought him water. They brought him things. So don't be surprised. I remember a brother in the camp had a dream. Said he had a dream that a plate of spaghetti and chicken was coming down by the window where he was at in the time of famine. This is years ago. But that's how the Lord is going to do it, bro. The Lord is going to find a way to ensure that his servants eat. Sometimes you want to fast. And the spirit be like, nope, you don't need to fast. It's crazy. There's moments the spirit would allow it. See, we want to do certain things because it's a very disciplined act to do that. But sometimes the Lord's like, nah, you don't need to do that because you're gonna eat. You don't need, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to suffer unnecessarily. I want to ensure, and this is a sure guaranteed, straight out of the good book, like they love to say, telling you, for all you brothers and few sisters out there, telling you, the scriptures is telling you, if you are his, you will eat. If you are his, you will drink. If you are his, you will be safe. That's beautiful. That's remarkable. Verse 14, behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart. Hey, right now we rejoicing. And why are we rejoicing for? We're rejoicing because we can see it clearly now. This very world that's been oppressing us, the very world that's been trying to crush us and destroy us, is fading away. And every single person that was pro this world was starting to get a wake-up call. So we count that as a blessing. All right? This has been a blessing. It says, and then when you happy, especially when you got the right food in your belly, and you feel, you feel it. You feel the spirit of the Lord is like, take it easy. You happy, you rejoice. It says, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart. That's why the scripture says, better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting. That is the end of all men. So when you in that Epicurean spirit the whole time in Babylon, you're gonna I mean, you're not gonna be able to say, "Oh, I'm gonna be a stoic" in that time because you're gonna be in a crash course. It was better to go through what we went through and let the Lord fight for us. Let the Lord give us the things that's necessary to get by. Period. All right. People, I see a lot more trendy things of people saying like, "Yeah, you don't need to eat 3 meals a day. You can eat 1 meal. You're not gonna die." Some people talking about fasting. It they in the right spirit, but they're in the wrong time. Like this is what we've been saying. We've been saying these things. This is nothing new. The scripture's been saying this, but it's new to them. That's the difference. It's new to them. But when it's all said and done, the men of the Lord, the men that have been serving Yahweh Bashem Yahushua the whole time that they woke up to the facts and sincerity and truth, is going to be in a whole nother spirit in that day. With a Kool-Aid smile, maybe, maybe not. Stoic look, maybe, maybe not. Everybody's going to vary. But knowing that the Lord provided, that's enough to make you go through a war. Because the Lord promised and the Lord is living up to that promise. And it's our job to live up to that, to his promise. All right, to his word. But ye shall cry for sorrow of heart and shall howl for vexation of spirit. And ye shall leave your name for a curse. Yeah. All these people that sided with Esau, believe in this system, you are set aside for a curse. You're not written in the book of life. All right. It says, unto my chosen, for the Lord Yahweh shall slay thee and call his servant by another name. And it's not talking about an actually you name, the name that you was given in the spirit. That's what the Lord is going to call you by because that's who you are. You know? So, yeah, famine is a new theme now. And they, the Wadi Habashim Yahushai. Because this thing is coming to an end. That being said, shalom to the elected nations. Shalom.